What up, what up, what up? We are in the thralls of winter, as you can see. It is a balmy 32 Fahrenheit here in Chicago. Hope all is well with you. Welcome to episode 11 of our demo and track feedback sessions. The response has been great. Just a quick reminder before we jump into things, people must be a member of my Patreon. You can sign up for free. So this is not a pay scam or some paywall thing. It's just we're trying to build and grow a community, and I want to focus my time in terms of giving feedback and having very responsive and comprehensive dialogue with those who are invested. So that's the trade-off. It's just that simple. It's not a place for me to review your latest promos or demos you're considering sending out to other labels. I'm flattered that some of you want to share that information with me, which is cool, but makes no sense if you're not a member of the community and then you're expecting some feedback from me. Not going to happen. The other piece is with respects to Patreon. We got a lot of cool things going down. I still have about one spot left in my comprehensive production masterclass signature coaching program, which involves 5 hours of one-on-one time with me. So there's a spot available for that. If you want to check that out, don't hesitate to DM me on Instagram, join Patreon, or DM me there. Also encourage you to join the Discord. There's a vibrant community of other active DJs and producers, or those who are aspiring to be professional DJs and producers there. And it's great to see the exchange of knowledge and ideas happening on the channel. All right, so let's jump into things. We got a number of pieces to go through here today, so it's cool, very exciting. First one up, because we got this a bit late in the last episode. I'll show you my screen, is from 12. This dude here, super dope. Lots of good stuff coming from this guy. We signed 2 of his tracks recently. I think it'll come out in late December or January next year. I can't remember, but super stoked. So let's have a listen, because he's definitely got a signature sound that I like, and I'm not sure what else I can add to this, but other than point out the things that are working well. So let's just start this from the top. Looks like we already got into things. All right, so this is 12, Sound and Soul.
How about recording us live tonight, John?
Man, the drums are just hitting, man. Woo! Move the bass line an octave down, so, and then we're gonna go back up, I imagine. Yeah, dope. And then back down. Nice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say welcome now to the Sounds and Soul.
The mix down is solid, man. Like, really crispy stuff. Stuff is dope, man. So I'm going to tell you straight away, I can't really find anything wrong with this. I'm extremely impressed, because all of those sounds are from my sample pack bundle. I know they are. You probably heard the Sound and Soul, that vocal that's in there. That's definitely from one of my sample pack bundles on Patreon. Again, to stress, there's benefits to joining. It's not just this cash grab thing we're talking about here. So it's nice to see or hear the samples being played back to you in such a creative way. I actually use that same vocal sample on Origins label, Josh Butler's Origins label, and my track is called On That Soul. So I use that vocal there. But he's done a masterful job here. I think some of the drum parts are mine as well, but this is the lesson here, is you can be inspired by many things and have access to the same sample sources, but no one will do it like you do. And I think that's one of 12's greatest strengths here. Like he's taken the sounds and really just elevated them way up a whole other level. So I really enjoyed that sound and soul. Let's we got 4 tracks here, so I'm excited. I'm stoked. Yeah. Bass sounds slightly out of key, but may be good. Yeah. Dope. Very crispy drums. Nice. Very good. I love what he did with the drop. Like, you got to preview the bass line here. I think he's ramping up the sub part of the bass line. Yeah, then a full sub of the bass comes in. Really dope. Clever automation. Ooh. So that top loop got filtered down to introduce you to the breakdown here. And there's his signature drum roll. Probably come in again here. There we go. Dope. Nice. Again, I love everything about that tune. I just love that he has his own sound and approach to things. So much so to the point where I can anticipate the signatures in his sound. And that's the place where I encourage a lot of producers to get to that place where your own sound is captured and people can hear, anticipate, and respect it. Really good tune. That's feeding my spirit. This one is Anybody in the House. I have a feeling this uses a vocal sample from my pack. Anybody in the House. Tracks are so great. Like, they're so musical and so soulful.
Anybody in the house?
Yeah.
Anybody in the house?
Yeah, there it is. Beautiful. Those pianos sound live though.
Anybody in the house?
No, that's sample. Clever. Oh, he layered the open hat right here. Coming out. There. Subtle. But that open hat is layered. Let me catch it again. So here's. There. Crazy. Good snare work. I wonder if the Rhodes are played live, because the sax is following that same line.
We gonna bring it tonight the way we wanna bring it. Is that all right? Well, that's all right.
Crazy. It's just well executed stuff. Very soulful, black, strong music.
Ask the Lord to let me be born black and put all in me.
Oh. crazy. It's great.
About it. And to me, we have a culture that
This is from the sample pack too.
By no other civilization. We don't know anything about it.
It's so well EQ'd and done. And I can hear that 12 is getting all the instruments in key. Like you can hear the differences in the open hat between each of the tracks, and I highly encourage you to go back in this video and check out the differences. But you can hear they're tuned. It's the same open hat, but they're tuned to the key of that song. And I talk about this all the time on my weekly production streams on Patreon. The importance of getting things in key, because it actually makes things sound more cohesive and louder. In terms of the arrangement, just so many strengths there in terms of being able to anticipate things, staying in that even bar, like 8-16 bars. There's no outrageous like breakdowns. And, there's a time and place for that, but you can see like we're talking like 8 bars here. Nothing crazy. 16 bars maybe there. Nothing crazy here. It's just all about the groove and keeping you locked in and engaged in the song, and then doing a lot of interesting things in the arrangement to keep the ears interested, delaying the introduction of certain instruments, and then having those instruments sort of do a play off each other, like in the previous track where the Rhodes was playing a scale and then the sax played the same phrasing, or very much similar to. So I had nothing bad to say here. I probably will go back and listen to some of these tracks and see which ones we would love to take just to expand his EP with us, because these are brilliant tracks, and it's nice to hear the sounds from my sample packs getting reflected back to me in terms of here's how they're used. And the mix down is super strong. So I'll be interested to understand your workflow, 12, and what you're doing to achieve the sound. But I got nothing bad to say. This is just really great, strong, soulful house, jack and house music, the way it should sound. Let's continue. So that was 12. Next one up is Lou Quattro. This track is called Crashing. Okay, so you're hearing some automation there. Sounds like the open hat was on a volume automation or top loop. Another open hat, top layer. Okay, there's a bass line finally. Some percussion. Stabs. Feels like a piano layered with a string sort of stab. Okay, so I think, I get the gist of this. This track, it needs a bit of work. So in particular, when you have a track where the bass line is just so simple. Like, let's see, just is it like it's a two note bass line. It's right here. Let's listen. So when you have a track like this, where it's pretty simple in terms of, like with the bass line, it's two notes, and then you have like this stab, something like that going on in here, and when you have those elements, I think it's important to have a type of arrangement that makes the track more exciting. Simple is good, but when you just have like that amount of space with the notes you're using and a couple of stabs and a vocal that really isn't saying anything, it's important to adjust other areas in the track. So first and foremost would be the arrangement. I think it just took way too long to get into that bass line, because you hear this top loop going, and then you hear the like it feels like it's forever, right? If you introduce the bass line a bit earlier, it'd feel like, okay, cool, there's a groove and something happening there. The other thing I would strongly recommend is having a vocal that, again, the audience can connect to. I talk about this all the time, where it's like, okay, people can anticipate, not necessarily a strong hook, a hardcore hook for a house track, but rather just something that the audience can connect with, a DJ can connect with, to say, yeah, I can use this to express my artistic palette. So I would say this needs a bit of work with respects to those things. And yeah, there's other elements in. I don't know if it's in the top loop or in the percussion. It's like a sort of like a muted cowbell. Like it's there from the start to the finish. And it comes out in the breakdown a little, which is cool, but I think some work could be done there just to make that song a bit more interesting. But good idea, good start so far. And I like that the instruments were not way out of key, so to speak, like it. At least the bass line and the stabs line it. See, those are some things you can do to keep that interesting with the stabs. Like you could start with this and extend the chord. I just added some notes in the scale. So yeah, all right. Leave it at that. Let's move on to Luke Quattro's next track. Sorry for putting out your government name there. All right. Where the party at? So this is going to be like a quick no for me, just because I've heard that bass line before, and it's off of like a classic house record. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, it uses a different sound. It's side chained, but it's stuff that I heard before. And Where the Party At? It's just kind of like, more stuff we've heard before. So not to be brutal here, but the goal here, in terms of what labels want to sign, or at least what I want to sign to my labels, is stuff that is uniquely you and stands out above the the saturation that's currently there. We've all heard this bass line. That's a bass line. Let's see if I got it right. I mean, there's a little bit of a dancing, a jumping bass line. Yeah, but I've just heard this so many times where I could say, okay, no, let's get on to something else that's uniquely you. That's what I, as a label owner, want to hear, and I've heard this so many times, and I've heard that vocal so many times in various different ways, shapes, and forms. So, I mean, the thing is, I will say, like the records, they're, the mixes are pretty good. Like you can hear the definition in each instrument. If I go based on the first track, this one sounds a bit brighter. This mix is a bit brighter, but it's fine. But definitely want to hear more original stuff, and I think I speak for what most label owners would be looking for. All right, let's move on. This is by Welljam, second appearance. Funk Me. Okay, cool. So I think he's incorporated some feedback from a few sessions ago. So let's have a listen. Welljam, Funk Me. I like the intro of that arrangement. I like it. Drop. Hope that vocal. Good. Just gonna say, I hope that vocal comes up. Got that minimal feel. Okay. I like the use of that string hit. Sounds like it's going in reverse to introduce another part of the arrangement. Okay, I mean, not really my sort of brand in terms of genre choice. Because I'd call this like a minimal sort of style. But that's subjective. Everybody has their opinion on what genre should sound like and what they should be. So it's more like a minimal sort of funky-ish track with the pads and the simple bass line. I think it's fitting for this type of sound and what's looking to be accomplished here, if it's in that sort of minimal vein. So it completely makes sense. The vocal, I was relieved to hear that it did get louder. It sounded like it was on a filter of some sort, which is cool. I would say probably overall in terms of the mix down that could come up a bit more. Just yeah, and the whole reverse stab. Anyway, it's like going. It's definitely going in reverse and being used to introduce other elements in the arrangement, which is cool. But it seems to happen fairly often. Yeah. Yeah, the vocal could come up. There it is again. So what I would say from an arrangement perspective is try and have a portion of the track that's just strictly beats and bass, but just something to rock with, as opposed to all the other stuff being in there, because it's after a while it feels like it's just been repetitive, and when you just drop, like when you move the arrangement with a steep contrast where it's just beats and bass, and perhaps considering like add like a jacked up snare in there somewhere. But I know it's minimal. That's probably the look and feel of a track like that, but it's just my suggestion. I think it would pick up the beat a bit and engage some ears. But well done. I think this is pretty cool. Not my brand again, for Purveyor Underground and what I would usually play, but I can hear this track being played like in minimal parties and stuff. So nice work. Next one is mine. Just Dug. All right. So let's play this one. That's interesting. Not sure if you can see this. It's like a white background. That kick sounds distorted. Yeah, no, that's out of key. This sound here, yeah, it's out of key with the stabs. Duk, duk, duk. I mean, you probably could get away with it, but I think with the way it came in, yeah, there's a lot of muddiness. Yeah, this is out of key. I'm over. But you might be able to get away with it. Like, don't get me wrong. Breakdown here. Okay, so a few quick things on this one that I could pick up on right away. I thought the introduction was interesting. Let's play that again. I don't know how you cue this record in. Like, how would you cue that in? It's interesting. I think I think it's an interesting way to introduce a track, but that might be difficult to mix in. And again, you want your arrangements to be DJ friendly. So first off the bat, in terms of things to reconsider, the kick is it's definitely distorted. It's definitely louder than the other elements in the track. So that could be a gain staging thing. The vocal is also loud too. once it's introduced. And I just think the overall mix needs work. Like it's in that typical muddy area, like in the low mids. Yeah, the low frequency and the low mids. It's just you can't really distinguish the clarity there, and I think that needs to be worked on. Um, just the key stuff. So I honestly think this track has a lot of potential, but it's coming from this area right here. That sample is dope. And the bass line is already in there. It's already like I can hear it. It's like dun, 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 dun. Like where is it? Somewhere around there. Is that G sharp? I don't know. But so there's I don't know where the sample is from, but there's definitely a bass line under there. I would rock with that as opposed to this. So now that I've heard this, it's definitely kind of two different keys going on. Yeah. So, the thing here is choose one. I would choose this breakdown, that loop, and make that the thing that is the main groove of the whole entire track. And then just pull out the bass line that's already in there and just make the groove with that track. I think you can get away with it with the vocal that's in there, but just something to consider in terms of when you approach this idea again. The other thing is like the snare stuff doesn't sound tuned to a particular key. Like if you just focus here, just listen to this. Like that sounds like a timbale. It's more of a percussive. That's the thing like Sheila E plays. And then you hear like a couple of other snares there. I would say just anchor yourself to particular lead snare and use those sporadically to color the arrangement to keep things interesting. It just sounds a little confused here. And once you anchor yourself to something, so in my case, I was saying anchor yourself to this road shit. Oh man, that's dope. Anchor yourself to that and then build everything around that, as opposed to trying to make all these other things work. It's just confused and it's hard to lock in. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's my feedback on this one. There's great ideas in there, but it needs some work in terms of hashing those out. And more importantly, things need to be in key. And the mix down, the kick is too loud, it's distorted, and needs to be pulled back a bit, in my opinion. So I think there's some great ideas there, but it just needs a bit more work. I think that was the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was the last one. So we're going to end there. The next show, as usual, should be about 2 weeks from now. I might do that one earlier because I got a few gigs coming up. Probably be a bit busy, but we'll see. So again, keep the submissions coming, but remember, you got to be a member of Patreon, and you can become a free member or go into our lowered vault tiers, which is new, to get access to a number of different exclusive stuff. So it's a kind of membership that pays you ongoing. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks so much for the love. Much love and respect to you and yours. Peace.